Okay, this is going to be a test video, and I will be doing the Chakra Man on today's star alignments. A lot's been going on, and I really didn't get a very good response to my begging, as some people in the comment section like to call it, for help getting a car. So I took what money I did get and I bought a new screen recorder subscription. That way I can make longer videos, which opens up a lot of doors for me. And I really dislike these 15-minute videos. So again, this is a test, so hit me back on is it picking up on the screen well? How is the audio? All of that stuff. So let's just get right into it. And I have a little bit of a toothache that's been going on the past couple of weeks, and it's given me a slight lisp. I assure you, I'm not drinking. I don't drink or do drugs. So let's just get into this, all right? We have the Sun, Saturn, Mars, Mercury moving along here. Not quite in the water of Pisces yet, but getting there. Neptune is also here, and if you understand anything about the Vedic, Rahu is also here. We have Venus, our heart chakra, still in that cardinal fire. Uranus, thank goodness, our conscience mind is still in that fixed earth, which is, to me, one of the biggest blessings of all of this that's going on, is because they're really trying to drive people crazy out of their minds. And if you don't have that root chakra, if you've not overcome your root chakra, this time can just be chaos with what Mars is going through and what the water signs are going through. Jupiter in Gemini, quite benevolent here, opposing his own house, but this is empire and desire, and it's in the first heaven. It's in pie in the sky. And so much is just bunched up on one side. We have so many houses empty. Today, the moon in Sagittarius, getting ready to move into Capricorn this week, and then join this mess over here in Pisces. This is probably the video I need to be doing right here on Chakra Man of what's actually coming. Oh, I'm looking at one and moving the other, because we're going to have the moon, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, the Sun, and Rahu all in mutable water and on that mutable cross. And we understand the mutable cross means change. We have Venus on the cardinal cross with Pluto. The subconscious mind is attached to the heart. And we have Uranus on the fixed cross. Everything else is on the mutable cross, besides our heart chakra, our conscious mind, and our subconscious mind. And that is scary, to say the least, because this is transmutation. This is change, and it's coming. Big change is coming. And for there to be change, the old has to be moved out of the way so the new can come in. You have to change circumstances, change ways, and this is in the house of illusion, delusion. It's also in the house of manifestation. What we need to learn to try to do is to overcome these chakras. That way we're ruling them and they're not ruling us. And that's why that root chakra is so important, because if you can control your emotions, then that's the hardest part of the game. And then second comes your desires, Jupiter. And they're over in Gemini right now, which has a lot to do with health, wealth, prosperity, communication, civilization. the planet of empire, Jupiter, is in the house of civilization. That's what Mercury does. Mercury builds and destroys civilizations. It's all this whole country's built on Mercury. They want to tell you Venus, they want to tell you Saturn, this and that, but that five-pointed star, that belongs to Mercury. I've proved that beyond a shadow of a doubt, that the square and the compass both belong to Mercury, even though the house of the builder is in the earth signs. They're the ones doing the work. When you see these images of this architect, that's who he is. That's Mercury. And that is your mind. That's the mind of man. And it's split, just like your conscience and your subconscious, and then your higher conscience. All things in threes. And you have to, those three consciousnesses are also those three crosses. And right now, on the mutable cross, that's the world around us right now. This is the world we're living in. Yeah, I think I'm going to do Chakra Man on this day. Let's see where the moon, we want the moon to be, because we're going to have a moon Mercury, well, not minutes, hours, a moon Mercury conjunction, then a moon Mars conjunction with Rahu, Saturn, Neptune, all right there. The 15th, the 16th, the 15th, let's see how long this goes, 15th, 16th, 18th, it's in Aries. Let's back it up, see when it's moving. Okay, through almost to midnight on the 17th. At 10 o'clock, it's going to move into Aries. So from the 15th at 3 o'clock in the morning to the 17th at 10 o'clock at night, it's going to be freaking crazy. I can't even wrap my mind around it, really. All I know is everything's going to change, but our hearts and our conscious mind and our subconscious sitting over there in Capricorn, it is what it is, because you have Uranus and Pluto both in earth signs, in the earth sign of stability and in the earth sign of exaltation. And our heart still in that fire, but at least it's on the cardinal cross, so it's again on the cross of exaltation. This is why it's important to stay in the heart chakra. This is why it's important to train your heart and your mind and your emotions, your Mercury, your Venus, and your Mars, to do those random acts of kindness, to make it a part of your daily life, to where it damned becomes ritual to you. In doing so, you're retraining your mind. And that's what the word repentance actually means. The renewing of your mind. And unfortunately, Mercury, our mind, is in his house of debilitation. Now, isn't that sad? Because we could have really used him in Virgo at this time in his house of exaltation for the renewing of the mind. Because now it's not going to come so freely. You're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to find that stability in Uranus and fixed Earth. You're going to have to find that fire in your heart with Venus and Aries. And, you know, Pluto and Capricorn can be chaos in itself. That's my first house in solar astrology, so I feel it strongly. But it is grounded. And for that, through all of this water, we have a lot of water and a lot of earth. Everything else, everything is in water and earth but Jupiter. Again, he's sitting in the clouds. He's pie in the sky. He's the empire. I guess today we would actually call that the deep state, the elite, those behind the scenes running the show. And they actually worship Mercury. Mercury, Jupiter, and Mars. Those are their gods. The ones they prefer anyway, the ones they serve, the ones they sacrifice for. All right, let's do this date right here with the moon and see what this looks like. Well, we know what it's going to look like. Everything's bunched up, but it helps to have those visuals. So I'm going to go ahead and run through the Tree of Life, the tracing board, our hand signs, our chakra man, and our crosses, and see the lay of the land a little bit easier. Okay, this is weird because I'm just now realizing I don't have a pin set in this screen recorder, so I'm actually not going to be able to do the markings on the screen. I'm just going to have to walk through it verbally, and I'm also not able to change the size of my capture, so it is what it is. I'm seeing now the limitations to what I purchased, but let's just walk through it anyway. In Pisces, mutable cross, we have Saturn, Mars, the Sun, the Moon, Mercury, and Rahu, if you want to include that. That's heavy on that feminine axis, and Jupiter over here in Gemini. Then in Taurus, we have Uranus, and just one thing on that fixed cross, and that's our heart. No, I take that back. This is Uranus, our conscious mind. Over here in Aries, we have Venus, our heart chakra. I wish it was in Taurus. It will be a great relief when it does move there, but for now, I can see its purpose in fire. That fire of the heart is literally opposing all that mutable water. So let's be thankful that, because that's passion and determination. When that heart is fiery like that, with that passion and that determination, it can walk on water. And then we have Capricorn with Pluto, and that's running on subconscious. So your heart is literally running on your subconscious. That's connected directly to your conscience over here in Taurus. But it's this thing right here that's eating us up alive. And so much change is coming. And I keep you all in my heart that there's protection and favor, and that all things work to good. Regardless of what happens, it's all going to turn out for the best for everybody. You know, I've considered this long and hard, what I'm fixing to say, because I do understand how this works and how you must go through the straight and narrow gate. You must come through the heart to the pineal gland, to that thalamus, to open that door. The elite in those circles, they're coming from the lower chakras. They're coming from emotions, Mars, and desire, Jupiter. And that's predominantly where they're coming from, because they've done lost their damn minds in Mercury. They're insane right now with their Mercury. But I get it, that trauma can lead you there. And I can see, let's just call it God, for lack of a better word. And I'm not talking the demiurge, I'm talking creator God here. I can see him allowing this trauma and punishment and what the demiurge would call judgment to occur. Because so many people are going to have their backs against the wall and their whole paradigms ripped out from under them that it's going to put them in a position to where they have nowhere to turn but to the truth of it, to their heart chakra. They're going to be forced there, just like I was as a little girl. It wasn't by choice. I was forced there. But the greatest thing that ever happened to me because of that. I truly wouldn't wish that on anyone. But if that's what it takes to get humanity or the collective consciousness to truly wake up, not wake up to the evil around us and to what's going on in the world, but waking up to who you are, who we are, and what we're actually capable of, and how we're actually manifesting all this. It's like this big-ass lie. When I tell you everything is a lie, that's about the only truth I know about this age, is every damn thing is a lie. Trust nothing and no one, not even me. Go do your homework. So let's move on to the next one. I truly wish I had a better tracing board than this one, but it is what it is. We're going to call the west down here, coming in the door, that's Virgo. Then you have the altar, which is Venus. And then at the bottom, you have Capricorn. And then at the bottom of the ladder, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. Jupiter on both of the foundation stones over here on Jacob and Boaz. And then you have the sun over the fire pillar. And you have Mars on the water pillar. And then you have Mars on the capstone over here and the moon on the capstone over here for Cancer and Leo, Scorpio, and, this one would be Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. This one would be Cancer at the top, Scorpio in the middle, and Pisces at the bottom, which is what we're going to be dealing with here. Of course, Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. And this is where everybody's at. It's right over here in the base of this water pillar. And again, the sun, the moon, Saturn, Mars, and Mercury, and Rahu, all right here. And we have over here in Mars's house of emotions and war, we have Venus, our heart chakra. That actually can be brighter than the sun. The sun is only the pillar. The capstone is Venus right now. And then we have Pluto down here in Capricorn on the mountain right at the feet of Gemini. And we have Uranus on the altar. Our conscious mind is on the altar. Our conscious minds they're trying to sacrifice them. This is the collective conscience. And the altar is where it's altered. It's where it's changed. And that's why I'm thankful it's in Taurus, because Taurus is stubborn. Now, there's some that need to change. There's some that need that conscious mind changed. So it's not a good place for them, because they will be stubborn and they won't want to conform to that change. And that's when chaos will break out for them, because this is all about transmutation. This, not just this day coming up, but this whole age. It's about change. Okay, we have a new pair of hands today. I'm not using the other ones. And I'll start with the right hand, which is the masculine hand. And this would be Gemini, Leo, Aquarius, Sagittarius, and Aries. This would be Scorpio, the index finger, Jupiter, Pisces. This is the feminine water. Capricorn, Cancer, and Virgo. And everything is over here in water of Pisces, right here in the feminine aspect. So we have the sun, the moon, Mercury, Mars, and Saturn with Rahu, all right here on the left hand, or what they would say the left hand path. We have our conscious mind, Taurus, and feminine earth, which is the heart chakra, which would be the palm of the hand. It's your heart's in your hands. And then we would have Pluto in Capricorn here also on the left hand. The only thing, no, I'm sorry, I said that backwards. Yeah, Uranus we have in fire, which is cardinal fire over here. The right thumb is the heart chakra. And in Gemini, so we have the, wow, okay. So we've got the heart and Jupiter in the masculine aspects, Jupiter here and the heart here. And our conscious mind is in our heart and our hand, and everything is over here in the peace sign. With our conscious mind and all this change coming from the house of empire. It's actually coming from the house of religion. Jupiter rules religion and philosophy and ideology, and which is ironic considering those sound like the things Mercury rules. But they're ruling in each other's houses. Mercury's in Jupiter's house and Jupiter's in Mercury's house. Kind of strange, really. It really shows the upside down world we are definitely in at this point. And last but not least, Chakra Man, which is why we came here. And of course, you have the masculine right side, he's facing us, and the feminine left side. At the bottom, Mars, we have Aries on this side and Scorpio on this side. Jupiter in the navel position, and we have Pisces on this side and Sagittarius in fire. The sun of Leo in fire, the water of Cancer in the moon, and in the feminine. The heart chakra Venus, we have Taurus in the feminine aspect and Libra in the masculine aspect. Mercury, we have Gemini in the masculine aspect and Virgo in the feminine aspect. And then our crown chakra, we have Saturn in Aquarius in the masculine aspect and the feminine of Capricorn in cardinal earth. So water over here is where we're at. Again, all in the feminine, we have Saturn, Mars, Mercury, the sun, the moon, and Rahu, all right here in transmutation. Right below them in cardinal fire, we have the heart chakra, all wrapped up in our emotions. In earth, Taurus, in our heart chakra, we have our conscious mind. This is where you really need to be. Just stay centered and grounded right there. That's our Uranus, our conscious mind here, really helping everything out. And then up here in the throat chakra, we have, Gemini. In Gemini, we have Jupiter over here, and in Pluto up here in Capricorn over here. So a lot of feminine energy. And a lot of change is coming our way in the coming days, the coming week. It was hard enough feeling the moon move through Scorpio. It really threw me for a loop. But once the wave washed over me, I got a breath of air and could see my way back to the beach. So the coming days of the 15th, the 16th, and the 17th are what I'm giving a heads up on. Everything from now is just in escalation up to that. And even when the moon leaves, we still have all this mutable energy that's going to continue We'll have the Sun and Mercury leave first. And Mars will still be here, acting crazy until the middle of May for another month. Over another month, we've still got crazy. But Saturn is going to stay here and is going to pull down masks, force the change, force, as Jupiter rules expansion, Saturn rules contraction. It's going to be less is more. It's going to be spring cleaning and then summer cleaning and then yearly cleaning, because Saturn's going to be here let's see if there's a retrograde after that. Yeah, okay, that was the final retrograde, so hold on, let me get... Okay, it didn't make it back. For a whole nother year till May, and then it's going to go retrograde back into Pisces once, I think. Let's watch that. It goes in 2028, so we've got 2 years of Saturn before he moves into his house of debilitation, and that's when the backlash comes from all this change. From moving to mutable water into cardinal fire into debilitation. So the years ahead are not going to be great ones. We have to endure this till 2029, and then we're still going to have a retrograde that will last until 2030. 2030, when Saturn completely moves into Taurus, we get a new world. And the elite know this. The elite know this. Uranus will be moving into Gemini after this. Everything will be different. But it's going to take about 4 years for us to get there. About 3.5 years for us to get there. If there's ever been a time considered to be the time of tribulation, it would be now. It's almost 4 years to the day of this chaos on the 17th. 4 years to the day. Go figure. All right, people, you know what to do. Commit those random acts of kindness. And if my channels help you, please help me keep it coming to you. It does mean more to me than you actually know. And there are times that I couldn't even have made it through the month if it hadn't been for you guys. You've been there for me, and I appreciate you. And I keep most of you on my gratitude list at all times. And I hope you do the same for me.